Our next speaker is Dr. Mohammed Alaswad. Mohammed Alaswad is a consultant medical physicist at King Fahad Medical City in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Assalamu alaikum, and thank you all very much for being here this morning. It's really a great honor and privilege to share our experience with the Riyadh Exact 9X system, that alternatively known as Tomotherapy. But before I get into it, I'd like to show you the outline of my talk. So basically, I have divided this talk into 3 sections, and I'll begin by describing briefly the major specification of the tomotherapy system. Then I will look into the unique feature of the MLC through describing the treatment delivery sinogram. And finally, I will focus on the adaptation system that provided by Accurate, particularly looking here for the precise art and precise RTX. So the system has been delivered to KFMC on 2nd of August 2022, and just for context, the main reason for us to get this technology is to improve the therapeutic ratio, which is the ratio of the TCB to NTCB at a specific level of response. Now, as displayed in this photo or this graph, the TCB is following or increasing the dose will give you an optimum TCB, but this will be at the expense of NTCB. Within this technology, or having this technology, definitely will improve the therapeutic ratio, as we're going to discuss today. So just for context, just the major specification of the system, or the Riyadh Exact 9X, has a single 6 MV unflattened beam that is capable in delivering 1000 centigrade per minute. In terms of geometric geometric setup, it has an SSD of 85 centimeter along with a bore diameter of 85 centimeter as well. The system also cubed with MVCT for IGRT application, along with helical CT as an add-on option. Also, the system has this unique of 64 binary MLC, which we're going to discuss later on in greater details. So our experience with the planning system, so we have 2 precision working station, along with 1 MDU suite for contouring, and this system can facilitate almost all of the essential planning features. But still, our oncologists prefer to do the contouring in the variant system. Then we export all of these contours to precision working station for an additional planning procedure. So in terms of treatment planning, we have license to deliver helical and direct modes through utilizing either fixed or dynamic jaw mode settings. So within this context, with the helical mode, the gantry will move continuously during the plan while you are while the MLC modulating the beam. Similarly, the couch will continuously move during the treatment. On the other side here, let's say if you wanna use a couple of tangential fields to treat breast patient, for instance, it might be a good idea to consider the direct mode as well. Just few notes about the jaw mode. So the jaw mode in Tomo system move in Y direction, and therefore it will define the longitudinal field size of the beam. And within this context, now we have 3 nominal field size. We have 5 cm, 2.5 cm, and 1 cm. Notably, the MLC also will move in Y direction as well, but it will define the beam laterally. So additionally, as I suggested, or as I mentioned previously, there's 2 modes. We have fixed and we have dynamic jaw. So the fixed jaw mode, as the name suggested, the jaw will be fixed throughout the treatment, while for the dynamic jaw, the target or the jaw will move to follow the trajectory of target motion in a sliding window style or design. So let's look for a clinical example. So displayed here is a plan for spinal mets. So in the right side here we have used fixed jaw mode with 5 cm, and as you can see in this dose color wash, it might be a really good idea to diminish the dose between these two targets. So when we have planned this case again using dynamic jaw mode, using the same field size, we were able to get rid of the or diminish the dose between these two targets. This is due to the sharp sub-inf penumbra related with the dynamic jaw mode. So thinking about the MLC specification, so the system cubed with 64 binary MLC, where at any moment the leaf is programmed to either fully blocking the field or fully open during the radiation. It has a resolution of 6.25 millimeter at the isocenter and a maximum field of view of 40 centimeter. Therefore, the maximum field size of the system gonna be 5 by 40 centimeter. It's very speedy. It's 250 centimeter per second. And just quick comparison with the conventional LINAC. So the speed here is significantly less, and the main reason maybe these rotary motors are not providing an adequate torque. So in other words, in order to increase the torque, you have to have a new rotary motors with very large power. But I guess this is going to be not feasible due to the large installation space required in the LINAC head. So within this context, a very interesting paper that has been published in Medical Physics, and the argument here is that conventional MLCs typically have a maximum leaf speed of 3 to 4 centimeter per second, whereas the target motion is likely to exceed and even can reach up to 9.4 centimeter per second. And they claimed that these discrepancies in the speed may influence obtaining an optimum an optimum blank quality, and therefore it will influence the tumor control probability. So another source of uncertainty that related with the motor-driven MLC is the interplay effect, which is basically describing the synchronization or the interaction between the MLC and the tumor, as both are moving maybe in the same time or in different directions or in the same direction. So it's really a random process. So this topic has been really discussed in more details in my recent publication that I have published just a few months ago. So additionally, this is another interesting paper that was published to evaluate the dosimetric consequences that related with interplay effect. And the aim of this paper was to evaluate the potential differences between the potential dosimetric differences due to the interplay effect. And what they have done, they have delivered a very well modulated VMAT blank, head and neck one, to a phantom during two scenarios. The first one was during a stationary phantom, the second one during a mobile phantom, and what they have concluded is that the interplay effect might have or may give you those discrepancies around 1%. So within this context, in tomotherapy, the treatment delivery for one full rotation is divided into 51 projections that span on around 7.06 degree of a gantry rotation. And maybe this sketch will maybe make life very easy. So what's displayed here is the number of projections for only one gantry rotations as a function of the number of MLC. And so the projection basically is basically characterizing the leaf and open close time. And each voxel in here representing a beamlet. And the shading here representing, for instance, whether if the leaf is open or closed. For instance here, white mean if the voxel, if the color is white, then that means the leaf is closed for the entire projection. If it is black, it means that it's open for the entire projection, and gray may be open less than 100% of the projection time. This might be a very boring, I would say, cyanogram, but a typical cyanogram will look like something like this. So let's look for some clinical example, but before that, I would like to share with you our eligibility criteria. So mostly we are trying to make this machine as specialized as possible through treating all the extended field, for instance, head and neck, maybe re-irradiation head and neck, due to or because this kind of cases requires an additional attention to the organs at risk constraints. Maybe bilateral also sometimes difficult to be managed with conventional LINAC. But almost all of our CSI patients now are treated in tomotherapy. And why is that? Because in tomotherapy, you can treat as long as 305 centimeter. So you will avoid the challenge of having multiple isocenter, as it is the case with the conventional LINAC. Also, you will avoid the setup uncertainties that that you may encounter at the junction areas. So here is a really interesting case. It's a bilateral breast case that has been done by Dr. Reham. I think she's sitting over there. So what we have here in the left side, we have the VMAT plan, and in the right side, we have the tomotherapy plan, and the color wash here displaying the 12%. So I was looking for the dose spillage in this situation. So even with this low dose radiation, tomotherapy was capable in scalp radiation around this complex target. So in terms of dosimetric consequences, we were looking for the hard dose, particularly the mean, the V5, V10, and V15. And looking closely to this number, the tomotherapy was able to diminish the dose to the heart by almost 4 gray. Also, similar improvement has been noticed to the other metrics. This is even without DIBH. With DIBH, I guess these numbers will improve even better, more. So similar improvements also has been noticed for the lung dose. Specifically here for V5 grade, the dose has been reduced by more than 50%. Now I'd like to move to discuss the adaptation system that provided by Accuray, particularly here looking for precise art and precise RTX. So this is basically the interface of the planning system, and we have here the precise art, and next to it we have the precise RTX. The precise art is designed for offline analysis, while the precise RTX is might be used for replan. So again, the precise art is a third-party software that developed it's developed by people from Ohio, and it's called the MIM software that integrated inside the precision working station. And how does it really work? It requires 2 sets of data. It's a reference one and the treatment delivery data. So focusing on the reference data, basically in the reference data, the software will look for the planning data, the data that will be gotten from the precision working station, CT, RT plan, RT dose, along with the cyanogram that we have discussed earlier. The second set of data is basically the treatment delivery data, and this is data usually will be gotten during the fraction delivery. And basically, the first set of data is going to be the MVCT image registration along with the MVCT cyanogram. And here is like a sample of the data that you can find in precise art. So as soon as the fraction is completed, you will find a dose volume histogram, a table comparing the dose constraints, and maybe some graphs too. And with a glance, or with a quick glance, you can judge the quality of the beam and evaluate the need for adaptation. So this slides or this chart representing our clinical workflow for adaptation. So we start the normal clinical routine by delivering the fraction. Then in the precise art, we evaluate the numbers in terms of meeting our planning criteria or not. If it is meet, then we don't need obviously adaptation. Then we follow our daily routine work. Let's say if some of the constraint has not met, then we first of all we investigate the reason behind that. Is there any tumor shrink, long break maybe in patient that causing these discrepancies in the plan and delivered dose? Other source of inconsistency such as differences in the reference setup and the MVCT setup. And after that, we acquire a new CT, then we deform and contour the original plan into the new image using the precise art, and then we optimize, replan, and we deliver the fraction. So the primary goal of this talk was to provide a conceptual discussion about the Riyadh Exact 9X system that alternatively known as Tomotherapy. And to sum up, we have also shown that this system can enhance TCB and TCB, this radiation basically to organs at risk, as we have discussed in the bilateral breast. Also without junction, now you can treat up to 135 cm. The precise art and the precise RTX is really an interesting software to be used as an adaptation system. But again, it's an offline one. I guess Accuray now is working with research to develop a new online analysis system. Software limitations, the MLC is quite noisy. Patient always complaining about it. In terms of the planning, also you cannot move the couch laterally more than 2 cm. And the optimization time is very, very long. And even if you wanna do a minor changing in the plan, it will also take a long time. I guess my colleague, the physicist sitting there, also agree with me on this point. Also, another important point, if the radius is more than 40 cm, it might be really challenging to obtain an optimum plan. The adaptation system that we got, it's really good, but it's gonna take time. And in my opinion, adaptation has to be really fast within 10 minutes. And thank you for your attention.
So very brief announcement while you are thinking about questions. We have a photo session at 11:10, and we also have the barbecue tonight, so keep in mind these two things. Any questions to this presentation?
Yes, that's really a great question.
So the question was deep inspiration for Tomo. Right?
Yeah, so we have two limitations in our department. First of all, we got a new CT sim that has no features for DIBH. But I guess also the tomotherapy has some challenging with the DIBH too. Their system for motion management is the synchrony system, and I think it's not supporting DIBH too. Yeah. Sorry? Treatment time. Yeah, so the treatment time, it depends. So the treatment time is I thought it's gonna be faster, but it's not. It's longer actually. So let's say it depends for CSI. It is if it is adult or pediatric, but it's let's say it's 45 minutes for adult, I would say, in comparison to the LINAC. My colleagues in the therapist team is sitting there. Thank you very much for your support. Maybe they can give us insight into the numbers there about treatment time, guys. So for CSI, I guess it's 45 minutes, right?
45 minutes.
Yeah? And in the traditional LINAC, Dr. Ghaida is asking.
Finish in 30 minutes.
30 minutes. So it's around 45 minutes for CSI and it's 30 minutes in the conventional LINAC. If there is more questions?
I think we have to move on to the next one. I think the next speaker is actually going online, and it's Professor Hook. So thank you again for your nice presentation.